Let's start out Unit 1 by going over some essential vocab. So, here's kind of a semi-definition or a clue to the word. I have no dimension and am represented by a dot. This is known as a point. You graphed points before. They just look like dots. All right, it has no length. It's not infinitely long. It's not finitely long. It's no length. It's just a dot. All right, to name it, we usually put the dot, and then we put a capital letter right next to it. So this would be known as point A. All right, next clue. I have one dimension, and I extend in both directions without end. This is a line. So I have a line here. These arrows indicate that it's going both to the left and to the right for infinitely long. All right? And it goes through a couple points here. Let's say A, B, and C. This is infinitely long. All right? And to name it, I draw a little line, and then I give 2 points that it goes through. So there's going to be multiple ways for us to name this. We could say line AB. We could say line CA. A couple different ways to do that, okay? Next up is 2 dimensions and extend without end. So now we're at 2 dimensions. This is known as a plane. You've graphed on the coordinate plane before. That is an example of an infinitely long 2-dimensional space. So to draw this, I just draw like a little rectangle, little piece of paper, all right? And there's going to be infinitely many points in here that are not on a line, that fulfill that 2-dimensional space. This is infinitely long. So to name this, I would say plane, and then I'm going to name 3 points that are not on a same line. So you notice A, B, and C, there is no straight line that can connect all 3 of those. So I'm going to say plane A, B, C. I can also put a big letter out here. I'm just going to use G, just made it up. All right, and since the G is on the outside of that plane, G is describing that entire 2-dimensional space. So I could also call this plane G. Either way, okay? The plane that we'll be dealing with the most is the coordinate plane, though, which you have some familiarity with. Next up, 2 endpoints and all the endpoints in between. So this does not have infinite space. This is a line segment. We have 2 endpoints here, A and B. Again, just making up those numbers or those letters, A and B. Okay, and then there could be other points in here as well, R, T. So this is finite. I could actually take a measuring stick, like a ruler or a meter stick. I could lay it down and I could measure out this line segment. All right, so to name this, I draw a little line segment, and then the letters that represent the 2 endpoints I put underneath the line. So that's how we name it. This is line segment AB. Okay, or I could also say line segment BA. All right, so that's how I name it. But if I want to say how long it is, then I'm going to write something a little different. I'm not going to put the line above it. I could say AB is equal to 5 inches. So if I'm talking about the measure of it, I do not put the line above it. Okay? And then we've got 1 endpoint, and you extend indefinitely in one direction. This is known as a ray. So we start at an endpoint, I'm going to call it C, and then I extend without end off in a direction. Okay? So I'm going to say it starts at C, and then it goes through D off to infinite, super long, infinitely long. Okay? So this is infinitely long. And to name it, I draw a little ray. I start at the endpoint C, and it goes through D. The order of which I put it in when I'm naming it does matter, because I'm starting at C and I'm going through D. All right, so this is ray CD. That's how we name it. All right, a couple more important vocab words are collinear and intersection. Collinear is points that lie on the same line. So if I drew a line here, I've got A, B, C, and D. All four of those points are collinear because they lie on the same line. All right, they share a line. The other thing is intersection. The intersection is the point where two lines, rays, or segments meet or intersect. All right, so I could have a ray here and then a line segment here, and then this point where they meet, that is the intersection. All right. Hopefully words you have seen before, have some familiarity with. We'll be dealing with line segments a whole lot, so that's an important one, especially this box right here, knowing the difference on how to name it and how to say how long it is. Okay? So there is the first set of vocab words. I have the you try now here, and I have it all blacked out because I don't want you to see the answer. I want you to give that a try. Pause the video here. Try out that one, and then I will erase this black and have you check it. So pause the video, and then check your answer. All right, so there is the work for the You Try Now. Let me know if you have any questions. In the next video, we'll talk about vocab with angles.